Hello, I'm Susan Malloy of Silver Lady Stamping, and today I want to share with you the alternate projects that I created with the December 2023 All the Best Paper Pumpkin Kit by Stampin' Up. The paper pumpkin kits include an array of supplies that make about 8 or 9 projects usually, and the supplies that are included in the kit include things like card bases, envelopes, punch-out designs, and labels, ink spots. You'll get a little, small ink pad that's called an ink spot. You'll get gem dots. You'll get dimensionals usually, and an instruction sheet as well to show you how to make the projects. And then one of the cool things that Stampin' Up! Is doing for January, February, and March is they released this set of 4 dies called the Love of Spring dies. And these will coordinate with the first paper pumpkin kits of the year. And they are so fantastic. I've already been using them. I used them on these projects. And I am so excited about them. I think they're fabulous. So in today's video, though, we're not going to make the projects in the kit. Instead, I'm going to be using some pieces and parts to make these alternative projects. And all the tools and supplies that I'm going to be using, I'm going to list below. And I will also link them to my online store and include a link as well so that you can learn more about Paper Pumpkin and how to subscribe. These are two of the projects I've made. I've made more than that. This is a box card, and so easy to make. Open bottom, as you can see, really fantastic. And as you can see, I've used the dies from those exclusive dies. And this is a wreath card from the punch-out pieces in the kit. And I'm going to set these aside because I just want to quickly show you. And this was another card that I made using a card base from the kit. One of the dies from the exclusive dies, I die cut it in Daffodil Delight, and also the Love die, and I paired it with the turtle from Playing in the Rain, and I cut it from the Designer Series paper. Wishing you all the best. And then lastly, I made these 3 bookmarks because I just thought they would make such cute gifts, and just use some random Designer Series paper on each one. Used the stamps from the stamp set, used from the Zoo Crew Designer Series paper. Just thought they would be so cute. And then the tag topper punch from Stampin' Up! That makes the top of it look so fancy. So let me set those aside and we can get started. I'm going to start with the box card. It's really pretty easy to make. So let me just put that aside and get my paper trimmer out. And this box card is going to be cut at 7.5 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to put it in on this is obviously the paper is 8.5 by 11. I'm going to put it in on the 8.5 side and cut it at 4 1/4. And then I'm going to open the arm up to cut it at 7.5. 7.5. Okay, there we go. And you want to hold on to your other pieces because we're going to be cutting a brace for the inside so we can attach some of our pieces. All right, so now on the long side, you're going to score it at 2 inches and 5.5. And then on the short side, you're going to score at 2.5 inches. So 2.5. You can use your scoreboard for this as well. I just chose not to drag that out, so I'm just doing on the paper trimmer. All right, you know what I think I'll do at the same time? I'm going to need to cut. Let's see, let me see, 4 and no. I need to cut 2 at 4.5 by 2.5. Let's see, I need to 4.5 by 2.5. Oh yeah, and then I need to score it on 1/2 inch on both sides. Oh yeah, that's right. So I'm trying to remind myself as I'm doing this. So 1/2, actually I'm going to do it at 1/2 inch, and I'm going to do it on this side because it's easier for me to hold on to the paper when it's only going to be a little bit on this side. So scoring it 1/2 inch on both sides. That would equal 1/2 inch and 4 inches. But I'm just doing it 1/2 and 1/2. Now you want 2 of these. So let's do it again. 4.5. We're cutting it 4.5 by 2.5. Score it at 1/2 inch on both sides. Oops, just move my cutting blade out of the way. 1/2. Turn it around and score it at 1/2. This is going to be for the brace on the inside, and it's also going to be for the front. So let me just set this aside for now. And I'm going to bring this back in, and we're going to do some scoring. I mean, some bone. We're gonna burnish it with the bone folder, but we're also going to cut. Now you have a large section, 2 long sections, a large section here, a smaller section here, and 2 squares on either end. You want to cut away the 2 squares. And that will be the top. So you want to cut it away completely. Okay. You do not need to fold this. This is going to stay straight. I'll show you again. This is the back. It stays straight up. And this is where the 2 pieces would have been that you cut away. So we're going to put a piece of designer series paper right across it. So you're not going to see the score line. But you are going to want to fold these 2 pieces. So we're going to do that. Now you have, it should look like that. Now this is where these pieces come in. So you'll want to take one of them and just fold at the score line. Now I'm going to get some tape runner. And what we're going to do is put some adhesive on these 2 short sides, and then you're going to attach them so that it becomes the box, right? So that's how it's going to come together. And I'm just going to all right. And I'm going to line it up just at the score line. There we go. And then for the other one, you can fold it at that fold line, just and lay it down. Then fold this side over. And you have a box. Now, one of the things that you'll want to do now is, you know, just lay it down while you're working on it. And if for some reason it feels like it's not 100% there, you know, that it's doesn't have the give, you just give it another press with your bone folder to make sure it's nice and flat. Just go in both directions to make sure that it's going to fold, and that's what you want. So that creates your box. Now, this piece is going to go on the inside, and what you'll want to do is fold it in one direction on one side, all right? And then fold it in the opposite direction on the other side. And what I found, and maybe I was doing it wrong, but what I found is for some reason when I was doing it on together like that and put it in, it didn't seem to want to fold properly. I don't know if I just did something wrong, but when I did it, folding it opposite, it worked just fine. So I don't know. That's just how it went. Okay, so I'm actually going to use a little bit of adhesive. Let's see if I can get this thing to go. And I'm going to put some on this side as well. And this is a glue press from My Sweet Petunia, and I've loaded the glue container with, it comes with glue, but I've added in Stampin' Up! Multi-purpose liquid glue because it's refillable. And this is made by My Sweet Petunia. So if you have any hand issues or you have problems with adhesive, this glue gun is really kind of cool. And then it has a little stand, and you can put it in there. It's like a little holder. So it's a cradle, and it just holds it right in place till you need it again. So like I said, it's made by My Sweet Petunia. That's where I got it. It was a little pricey though, I have to say. It was like $35. Okay, so then you just want to put it in. Oh, see, and get it in place. And I think I'm going to move it forward a little bit. And then get it so that it's about even. So that it's kind of straight across. Yeah. And then I'm going to tip it over and put my bone folder in there and give it a press. Do the same thing on the opposite side. Just give it a little press. Make sure it's nice and strong. And there you have it. So now what we can do is take some of our pieces and start putting them into the design. Oh, actually, I think what I'll do first, before I do that, is put the backing over here. And what I'm going to use is a piece from the one of the card bases, which is this would be like one of the cards, right? So this would be the card base, but gosh, you know, you don't want to use that and have it be on the back. So I just cut them in half and then cut them down. Let's see what else I have in here. Oh yeah, and you get like several of them, so there's plenty to play with. So that piece is going to be for this back, it's going to be 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. So let me bring my trimmer back up. And then we're going to use a bottom piece that's going to be cut at 3 1/2 by 2 1/2 for the front. So what first I want to do, let's see, this is going to be 4 1/2 inches all the way down. Let me just do my, not 4 1/2, 4 1/4. My apologies. Keep saying 4 1/2. 4 1/4, right, all the way down. And then 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. That's where I got the half. Okay. Just want to double check. So it's going to be this way, 4 1/4. And it's fine that there's, some of that because you're not going to see it anyway. And it's 3 1/2 across. Okay. And then for the front piece, we want it to be 3 1/2. Let's just double check which direction. I'd hate to cut it and have it be wrong. So across the front is 3 1/2 and down by 2 1/2. Yep. Okay, so across is 3 1/2. 3 1/2. Okay. And then we want it to be 2 1/2. There we go. And this will fit right on the front in this front panel, all the way across. See how that's going to go? It's fabulous. So easy. And this piece will go right in the back like that. And that's why I told you, this doesn't need to be folded and you won't see it. So I'm just going to use some tape runner. Okay. And I'm just going to put it in just like that, and then line up the top. And because it's a little tight quarters in there, I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure it's all adhered down. And we'll do the same with this front piece. And then we'll begin decorating. So I'm going to just put this right here. Perfect. So now we have the makings of a box card. All right, so now I'm going to bring back some of my pieces. And I'm going to bring in this piece. And then we have these lovely, that I'm going to use for the wreath card. And I have 2 of these, but not sure I'm going to use 2. And some of these smaller ones. But let's see. We're going to also need let's see, where'd my sentiment labels go? I have a bunch of sentiment labels. Here they are. So we have circle sentiments, and we have the squares, and we have ones that are flagged, but we're going to use this one. And die cut one of the dies. We're going to die cut love. And I think we'll also die cut the daffodil. So we'll do those 2. And I'm going to use my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I have a piece of gold foil, and that will be on my supply list. And one of the ways that, so there's two ways that we could do this. One is to go ahead and die cut directly from the foil, just as you normally would with anything. And you would put both of them on there and die cut it. And then you would just take it off and put some adhesive on the back of the die. It's kind of a very small die. So the adhesive, putting on adhesive, oops, sorry about that. I didn't mean to go all wonky. Let's see if I can get this back and lined up. There we go. When you have a small die and then you go to put adhesive on the back, you probably have already experienced that you can get kind of messy. So one of the things I'm going to try that I did, I've used it already, is Stampin' Up's adhesive sheets. So they come in a big pack, and they're scored. So they have 2 score lines, and that means you can just peel them off and, you know, use whatever you need. So I've cut a smaller piece, and I think this is going to be enough to cut that one and then this one. So what you do is they come with like a peel off, right? But the way it peels off is you would think that when you peeled it off, that this is the underneath part is the adhesive. No, that's not how it works. Kind of strange. It's actually this part that is the adhesive part. It is a bit backwards in my opinion. So what you do is you take your foil and you just and you put it on, and you put it on the back of the foil, right? I'm already making a mess of this. I'm going to put the foil upside down, see if I can have a better chance at it. There we go. And then this part is also a backing. So I'm going to take this piece as well. And I'm going to put this piece back like that, because we're going to be die cutting this piece as well. So, all right, let's see how this goes. The only problem I was having, I got some adhesive on my thumb. The only problem I was having, because I have to be 100% honest, is I was having trouble once I had it all die cut, getting the backing on the other side off. So if I really struggle with that, then I'm going to just go back and do die cutting the regular way, and then we'll put adhesive on it. Oh, I didn't need to take my trimmer. I want my mini die cutting machine. And I want my little, what I call my little pokey tool, because it has a pointed end on it, and it might be helpful when I'm trying to find the edge to peel it off. Okay, let's give this a go. So I'm just going to use the mini one because it takes up less space on my table. There we go. And all right, let's see how this goes. I want to make sure I got enough. And we're going to die cut this piece, and let's see how that works out. Come on, get in. very nicely. Oh, this one on the very bottom. That's right, just give it a snip. Okay. Now, the gold foil is still attached on the back of this one, so I just need to poke it out. And there we go. Just to get it out of the die. All right, so now this is where the tricky part comes in. But before I do that, you know what? I need to put the sentiment label on. So let's do that. Or I could actually do the, no, maybe I'll just put it on before I attach it. All right, let's see how this goes. Let's see if I can get it off. Oh, look, I got it. And you can just peel it, and it just comes right off. Okay. And that way I don't have to worry about messy adhesive. All right, so I'm going to put this at an angle because it's a little too long otherwise. That's it. So easy, right? All right, let's see if we have the same kind of luck with the daffodil. Oh, look at that. The gods are smiling on me today. If you could have seen me the other day, you would have laughed because what a colossal mess. I just couldn't get it off for the life of me. I was like, oh no. There we go. So again, just so easy to do. It just makes it so much easier. Okay, let me just snip off the bottom. Look at that. Isn't that great though? That makes it so much easier. And then this month's kit, just the December kit, comes with these blue gem dots. And so I'm just going to put, I'm going to put one up here. Put another one maybe over. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put one right here. How pretty would that be? To be right on top. I can't really see too much, but there it is. Love that. Maybe I need to be a little closer. Maybe that would be better. I'm not sure. And then I'm going to put, I think I might put another one. Maybe like down here. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So now I'm going to take some liquid glue. No rhyme or reason, just okay. And adhere that to the back. And I'm going to line up the top of the label with the top of the back. And then just press it in place. And now we can go back and do these pieces. And this is the easiest part. And really this is, that's all we have left to do. So I think and all you're going to do is put some adhesive, let me see, you just want to kind of line up where you want it to go. And if I want it to go, let's see, I'm going to need to put some on this part right here. And I think I'll be good to go at that point. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to just press that in place. Now I know that it hides some of the back, but you know, when you're looking at it, you can see it very clearly. And now I'm going to add something going in the other direction. I think if I put another large one, that might be okay. I don't think that would be overkill. All right, let's try that. Just kind of going in the other direction, right? Like that. It already looks like a lovely little bouquet. And we can put one kind of in the middle. Or, let's see, how would these look? These little ones. That would look cute. I think I might add those. I like this glue press because it has the needle tip and you can really get in small places. Okay. That looks nice. So very 3D, right? I'm going to put one more. And we'll move on to the wreath card. And that won't take us very long either. Very nice. And I don't think we need anything else. And then it becomes, I think, overkill. So I'm going to leave it at that. Now, one other thing that you can do for the back, and I'm not going to do it now, but I'm going to show you what I did with the other one, is I folded it, I put a piece of basic white cardstock on the back, but I stamped it with the images, the dandelion images on the back, and then adhered it. And these look very much like the Dandelion Wishes stamp set that we had, a couple of years ago, I think, which was so pretty. And that's what this is. This is kind of, I think, designed after. So that way you'll have somewhere to write your sentiment. So that's this project. Kind of nice, right? Cool. Easy. Super easy to make. I didn't want to bring you something that was going to be really, really complicated. So many boxes that I've tried. It's like there are so many instructions and it becomes very complicated and I begin to lose my patience and I'm like done. I like doing fun folds. I like doing boxes just like anyone, but I don't like it to be complicated. This card is an easy one to make as well. This is made with Old Olive cardstock, which I've already cut into your typical card base. 5.5 by 8.5, and I didn't end up scoring it, but you would score it at 4 1/4. In this case, you just fold it in half, give it a burnish with your bone folder to give you a nice crisp edge. And then for the next layer, I'll keep this out just for reference. For the next layer, I had cut a piece of Daffodil Delight at 5 1/4 by 4. So for anyone who is new to paper crafting, whenever you want to cut layers on top of your card base, it's always cut at 1/4 of an inch smaller than the layer below. So the card base is measures when it's folded 5.5 by 4 1/4. That means that the next layer would be 5 1/4 by 4. If I had another layer on top, it would measure 5 inches by 3 3/4. So it's just always 1/4 of an inch less this way and that way. And that's how you would cut it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my tape runner because it goes kind of faster. And this is a non-Stampin' Up! Tape runner because my Stampin' Seal ran out. So I'm using a store brand tape runner. Oh, I got bits and pieces on my glass mat. And then I cut a piece from the Color and Contour bundle. Well, it's not a bundle anymore. This is from the Contours dies, and it's the largest one. If you have this set, it's awesome. They're sold separately. They were a bundle at the time when it was brand new, but now they're sold separately in the catalog, and these are the Contour dies. They're fabulous. This is the one that I use. So you just you die cut it from basic white cardstock, and now we'll just adhere it to the Daffodil Delight layer. And the yellow will show through, so it looks kind of nice, right? Kind of neat. And now what we're going to do is we're going to, you know, we'll do this piece at the end because we're going to do the same thing that we did before. And we're going to assemble the wreath. And we're only going to need 3 of the pieces from the kit. And I want to just lay it on. I'm going to, you know what, I might lay it on here just so I know kind of where I want it to go and how big or not big I want it to be. So I'm going to, let me move this down a little bit. This end, I'm going to move it underneath the flower. Let's see. And then the same with this one. Kind of have to play around with it a little bit so you know kind of how you want it to be. And that's how you do it. Now I'm just going to, let's see if I can keep it generally in the shape that I wanted it to be. Okay. So there's 2 pieces of it. And then this will go here. And this will go underneath like that. Yeah, okay. I want to just attach a little bit of adhesive and like that. And I'll put some adhesive here and then just tuck it underneath. And then there you have it. Now, I did not pop it up, or did I? Did I pop it up on dimensionals? Yes, actually I did. So we're going to do dimensionals. Yep, I put some dimensionals. I thought that might look kind of nice, and it is. All right. I like popping things up on dimensionals, don't you? It just makes some of the projects really look so three-dimensional. I go through dimensionals like crazy, and whenever I have an order that I need to make and it has kind of a lot in it, and I reach the $150 level, which gives you Stampin' rewards equal to 10% of your, of your order. So if it's $150, you get $15 of Stampin' rewards. I use my Stampin' rewards to buy things like adhesive, dimensionals. I buy the consumable stuff because I go through it so fast. And so if I'm going to get I don't need to use my Stampin' rewards to get another stamp set. I already have enough stamp sets. But I really do like to use my rewards for yeah, I get the, you know, Stamp and Seal. I'll get, or I'll get, you know, the multi-purpose glue, or some dimensionals or glue dots for that matter. And I'm going to just press that into place. Nice. So easy. Yeah, and it sticks out. So now I'm going to see how we do with another die cut of that love sentiment. So I have another piece of this adhesive sheets. And like I said, when you peel it off, you think it's the other side that's supposed to be peeled off, and it's not. Okay, I'm going to put this on. And I'm going to trim around it because when I run it through my die cutting machine, I don't want the sticky stuff to end up getting stuck to anything like the rollers inside or anything. So I want to cut away the sticky parts. Even if it gets stuck on my scissors, I can clean that. I don't think I can clean the inside of the stamp and cut machine, the emboss and cut machine that easily. Okay, so now I'm going to bring that back in. And get my plates. Here's one, here's two, here's three. I'm going to put my gold foil. Right. Poke that out. Now let's poke it out of the die. Oop, and a little piece that's got to come out. All right, let's see if we can get it, release the paper off the back. There we go. It does take a little fiddling with it, but I got it. Okay. Bring my card back. Oops. And now we'll adhere it. Actually, I think, because if I put it in the center, it's going to sink because I've got it popped up. So I think what I'm going to do is put it, as much as I would like to do this, it's kind of not really, well, if I did that, it would kind of sink. So I'm going to put it down here instead. This one I did across the middle, but I'm not sure how I was. Oh, I know how I was able to do it. Darn it. I know. I did it a little differently. What I did was I completely forgot. I mounted the wreath onto a piece of basic white cardstock. So then I was able to put the love right across the center. I neglected to do that with this piece. Not a big deal. It's just different. And actually, what I could do I could put something in the center, something like that. Or I could just put some put some dimensionals inside. No, I think I may do one of these things. I may just put that right in the middle. But that's what the difference was. You can mount it, you can leave it empty and do something in the center, or mount it onto a piece of designer series paper before you put your dimensionals on. So mount it on the cardstock and then put the dimensionals underneath, and then that way when you put this on, it'll be flush. So I'm going to just put this in the center. I'm going to move that down a little bit. I kind of like that. You can leave the center empty if you like things cleaner and simpler. That's certainly up to you. So these look a little bit different just because of a boo-boo, a happy accident, I should say. Now, for the inside, I'm not going to do that for this one because I've already taken up enough of your time. I put Happy Valentine's Day and I adhered one of the die cut pieces. So I just want to thank you. I'm going to bring in my box card again that we just finished. And I hope you like how to make that one. And these as well. I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate the fact that you stopped by and visited with me, and that you will come and visit me again. Thank you, and bye for now.